Good morning, everyone. Hi. My name is Menachem Creditor, and I serve as scholar in residence for UJ Federation of New York. Every morning we come to you at 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, to wish each other a good morning, to start the day with some music and some blessing and a whole lot of hope. When we are blessed, a whole lot of light. And if you're in New York, welcome to a very, very bright Wednesday. Hi, everyone. Laura, you win the prize for the first greeting. Hi, everyone. It is so good to be together, and it is an amazing thing that we get to do this. I don't want to miss the light. I don't want to miss the air. I don't want to miss your faces. So just for a moment, I would invite you, even before we say the blessing, take a breath. Take a really beautiful, deep breath. So, welcome everyone. Good morning. Hi, Hedy. Hi, Ronnie. It is among the best moments of my day when I get to see all of these beautiful faces wishing each other a good day. So if you feel like it and you haven't done it before, just write in the comment, right? Good morning to everyone. Because I got to tell you, it makes a very, very big difference. Mindy, happy birthday. Oh, that's such a nice thing to know we get to share. All right, everyone. Here we go with some morning blessing and learning. And thank you, Arlene, for making sure we knew. Jerry, happy birthday to you, too. This is a nice way to start the day, isn't it? 2 birthday people. What I wanted to share was from this week's portion. It's actually... I want to read you a line. Rabbi Shai Held, who I've quoted often, who I love so much, and whose Torah has really defined learning for this generation, and maybe for many more generations to come. In this book that I hope you have, The Heart of Torah, it is a tremendous, tremendous 2-volume commentary on the Torah. It's my favorite that I have. His opening, his first sentence of this comment is, "The opening of Numbers does not exactly make for scintillating reading." So, there you go. One of the giants of this generation has now said that the beginning of this week's Parsha is not so scintillating. But what I wanted to share with you was why. We're actually in the middle, in America, of not the pandemic, the census that is also happening right now, in case you didn't know. The census is the counting of each person who is in the United States. Not every citizen, but every person. And UJA has been centrally involved in New York and in the federal government with encouraging the Jewish community to participate fully in the census. This week's portion, the beginning of the book of Numbers, is pervaded with numbers. That's why the book has its name in English. That's not its name in Hebrew, by the way. In Hebrew, the name is Bemidbar, in the wilderness or in the desert. And a census, on the face of it, is not so exciting. Right? So it's not it's not so exciting. There's not much to say about that part of it, except for one thing, that counting itself is vital. See, a census isn't exciting in the numbers, but a census is exciting because of what it means. Both in the United States, where it determines the allocation of billions and billions of dollars and the numbers of representatives any state has, and the support for residents who are citizens and non-citizens on the social service level, the census is invaluable, sacrosanct, in the language of the head of the Census Department for the U.S. government, with whom I sat in conversation in Washington. Feels like many, many years ago, but it was just 3 months ago. Now, in this week's portion, we have the census, and each family, each tribe is named number by number. And, you know, it's hard to stay excited about that unless you think about what it represents. There's a tradition that, and you probably know this, it's one of the most often quoted parts of the Mishnah, of Jewish tradition at large, which is that God is not like a human being. A human being creates a cast, a mold, and every coin that comes out of that mold is exactly the same, right? That's why we have the same kind of penny or the same kind of quarter. But that's not the case when it comes to human beings and God, because we're all created in the image of God, and yet no two of us are exactly the same. The uniqueness of every individual is part of what it means to say that every individual counts. And there's so much that comes along with that. In Pirkei Avot it says, Chaviv Adam shenivra b'tzelem. Beloved is a human being, for they were created in the image of God. But more beloved, it says in Pirkei Avot right afterwards, more beloved is the one who knows that they were created in the image of God. And by the way, Adrian, I'm not, no one should be happy with less than 40% participation in the census, but numbers can be deceiving. That's a high participation rate, and it should be encouraging to get even more people to participate. Every community has its own challenges, but one of the ways that, at least I believe, we can encourage each other to participate in being counted is to recognize that by allowing myself to be counted, and by God commanding the counting of the people, we are declaring that we know we matter. I know that I was created in the image of God, and I know that you were created in the image of God, and therefore we have an obligation not just to be counted, but to look within. Each of us is called to look within ourselves and to say, what am I uniquely created to give to this world? Now, in this moment, I've had people call and write and say, I don't feel like I have the capacity to change anything right now, to do anything right now. But nothing can be further from the truth. If each one of us counts, it's not when we are all in the public space and nothing limiting is going on that your uniqueness is called to bear. Of course, it's also called to bear then. But what can you uniquely do right now? There are people who are experimenting with art. There are people who are looking for ways to safely volunteer. There are people who are holding up the teachers, who are holding up the students. There are people who are holding up the restaurants, who are holding up healthcare workers. You can do a million things, but only you can do the things that you can do. And as the great Mr. Rogers once said, everybody's special. So this week's portion reminds us everybody's special. Everybody counts. Let's be personal about this. What is the thing that you can bring to the world, that you uniquely have to offer? Because you matter so much. You, the unique image of God that you are, you have a capacity that no one else has. No one else could have, because they're not you. So let's take a moment today. What is something I can do? Let's ask that of each other. Let's ask that of ourselves. And if you have an answer that comes to mind, just do it. Be a gift. Be the gift that you are, so that not only can we fulfill the tradition in our portion, which says that everybody counts, but we can remind ourselves that we, each of us individually, matter. You matter. Thank God. So, let's sing our way out, friends. Very, very glad to be with you. Oh, I should remember to say, someone pointed out that I missed a great opportunity yesterday. Yesterday was the 42nd time that we've broadcasted these weekday morning Boker Tovs, these good mornings. The number 42 is pivotal for at least two reasons. One of them is it's the answer to everything, according to Douglas Adams' restaurant at the end of the universe. I should have remembered that. And the other one is that 42 is the number of stops that the Israelites make in the desert, as recounted in the end of Dvarim. So 42 is significant. In the spirit of what we learned today, 43 is significant too. Let's figure out why. Here we go. Boker Tov, everyone. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.